Hi everyone, Nathan here from JS Powersports, and I'm hearing a lot of people are getting delivered their 2026 skis and they are coming in without an ECU, or the ECU is being sent separately, which does commonly happen. I just want to prepare you guys before. I know you're excited, you're going to get out there and go tear it up and so on, but please don't do that. First off, once the ECU is installed, you are going to need a data cable, because the TPS has to be set to the ECU or the thing's never going to run right. It's not going to know where it's set at. That has to be done. There's a free video on our website in the video library that can show you how to do that. The cables are for sale. There's a link from the electronics page and also the ECU page, which points out which ECU you have and which cables you need. But yes, you're gonna need to set up the TPS in the ECU and save it before you run the ski. Next thing, you need a specific break-in oil or a mineral oil. We use Bel-Ray 2T, it works great. And that's got to be used for the first 2 tanks of gas. Most of the new skis are coming in pre-mix, so you're going to mix them 40-to-1, maybe a little heavier. But you need the first 2 full tanks of gas to be run through with mineral oil. If you want to do the best thing you can for your engine, you will heat cycle it. You will run it for 10 minutes. You will let it cool down for, say, 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it takes in your area with the hood off to get it to cool down. You can splash some water on top of the engine and stuff if you want to, but you need to get it to cool down and then repeat the process. You need at least 4 heat cycles to really break the engine in good. We normally do 6 here, and then plus the 2 tanks of gas where you're just not really getting on it. Just quarter throttle, short burst to half throttle. You know, for a freestyle ski, that's usually okay. You know, if this is someone going to race it, you definitely need to do the full break in before you go out and hammer on the gas. The next thing, a big battery. If you put a little dinky battery in here and it's turning over slow and heating up all the electronics and your starter, and you get a kickback and it breaks the Bendix or Shears or Woodruff key, that's on you. Do not do it. Don't buy any of these cheap little cheesy 200 cold cranking amp batteries. Go for the Mac Daddy. Treat this ski right. This is a 680 cold cranking restart battery, which means if you leave this button on here or the bilge pump on, it'll only drain down to a certain level. That battery will shut off. You'll come out, there'll be no power. You'll be like, oops, I left the button on. You press the button on top of the battery and it re-energizes it, and that's enough to start the machine if everything else is in tune, and you can go out and ride it for a while and it'll charge the battery back up. Otherwise, buy a battery charger with it. We sell a It's 0.8 amp battery charger, which is kind of like your overnight charger, and then we sell a 6 amp. A 6 amp is like a 1-hour charger. It'll charge that stuff up. They're designated to lithium ion only, and if you get a lithium battery, you need a lithium ion only battery charger. Do not buy some cheesy thing that says it'll auto sense it and work, because they don't. They sense them incorrectly. They put them in a desulfonating mode and they'll burn up and ruin your brand new battery. Now your battery inside here is going to come with some instructions. Let's see if I can get this one open quick. We also, if you buy one from us, you're going to get additional instructions. But otherwise, you're going to get these instructions as it says, you know, if you remove this tag, you understand the following. And nobody ever seems to read that stuff. I know reading's difficult. Nobody wants to read. But do read it. Take the precautionary measures so that your battery will last you a long time like ours do, and that you're not going through them all the time. We sell this battery and many others charged and sealed. That doesn't mean it's 100% guarantee it's never going to get water in it, but what it does mean is we're going to seal around the seam, and when you put it in there, most of the water that splashes on is going to go right off. It's not going to be an issue unless you submerge it. Sink your ski 30 feet plus like some people have done. That's always going to be a problem with everything. So I hope this stuff's helpful. I'm going to jump on the website real quick, show you guys where to go to get this stuff so that you can have a great experience with your new ski and not a bad experience, okay? Another thing you can do, because Krash doesn't really have much of an owner's manual, there's a 23 manual on our site. You can use it. There's no video. We've got some videos for some certain things. Anytime you buy a product from us, you will get, or you can request to get a video that's how to install that product or how to take care of that product, etc. All right, let's go to the website. Okay, once you've navigated to jspowersports.com, you can click on the watercraft button here, or you can scroll right on down here where it says Krash Industries, and boom, that'll get you right in. Here's your tech support section. In here, you will find, you can click on 22 current skis right here, and you're going to find, oh sorry, let me back up one step here. Just come down here, you're going to find your general owner's guide. And it's marked as a draft because it never really got finalized. But this will get you in and teach you a ton of stuff about the ski and how to take care of it. Now back to this one. Here's your 22 plus PFI files and programs right here. There's a few other notes and links and so on this page too. It's good to read through all this stuff. These skis have to be winterized. Just a reminder. Not a heated garage deal. No, actually winterized. Okay. PFI files right here. You'll determine you don't have a Holotech, you have a micro squirt, and then the programs are all down through here. You probably won't need the program. It's probably already programmed into the ECU, but you will need the data cables. Right down here you can get the complete 2-cable system for the PFI right here. Get you this cable, so you can plug into it. There's another video we just put out that shows you where the new plug-in is, and it's over by the fuel intake rail. It's kind of way down in that area. Then we can go back to watercraft, the orange button at the top there. Scroll down here. Here's the batteries. This first one here, this is the one that we recommend. Like I said, you can select on the drop down here for charged and sealed, and pop that thing in your cart, and we'll get it set up for you. And the 22 and up with this battery, it's going to come with a couple pads. You can put the pad down here in this corner, down here on this corner, and then it's at the same height that a regular battery would have been, and so your straps will work just fine for it. And we're going to update a bunch of information about straps here shortly, because there's so many different batteries and so many different trays and so many different straps, and we're going to try to make it a little clearer as to what people actually need and don't need and so on. All right, the other thing we talked about was oil. Once again, just click on the watercraft button, scroll on down here, and you should see 2-stroke oils. And you might be able to pick this stuff up at your local Powersports company or something too, but we do have the Bel-Ray 2T right here, so you can pick that up for break-in oil. Then after that, after your break-in's done, you can run the best synthetics you want to run. You don't necessarily need a race oil. These skis just don't get hot enough that they would ever actually need it or burn that oil. But I mean, obviously you want a good enough brand. I just don't want everyone to break the bank on oil if you don't really have to. I forgot on the battery page to show you guys the chargers. So at the bottom of the battery page is where you're going to come across the recommended chargers that we sell and use all the time. They work fantastic. The TechMate Optimate lithium ion chargers, like I said, you can get the 0.8 amp or the 6 amp right here, and that'll get you quick charging on the 6 amp and more of an overnight type charge on the 0.8. Now once again, I'm going to go back and click on the orange watercraft button right up here, and we're going to click on the Krash jet ski, or the wording here, either one's fine. And this is the video library. Video library. Scroll down here, you're going to find out, okay, should be a TPS setting, something in here. Oh, I forgot. That might be under some of our unlisted videos. These are for our customers. So if you're buying the cables and stuff from us, we'll get you the video. Yeah, it's right here under programming your micro squirt. So just after your purchase, send us over the name on the invoice and the invoice number and request the videos. We'll get them sent to you. Other than that, spend some time right here. Starting and stopping procedures, break-in procedures, saltwater care. So you can get yourself more familiar with this machine. This is kind of like a top fuel dragster. It's not like a Honda Accord, so there's a lot more involved than just turning the key and going. And if you do all this stuff right, you'll love your ski. If you don't, you're going to hate it, and you'll be all over the forums, upset. And meanwhile, the people that paid attention to all the videos, studied all this stuff, did it all right, they're out riding. They don't have time to be on the groups and forums, and they don't want to feel like they're smearing it into those that didn't pay attention and set their stuff up right. We're trying to do everything we can here at JS Powersports to get everybody up and informed that we possibly can. I'm not here to educate my competition, but if you're buying from us and so on, we'll get you the additional details you may need for the products that you buy from us. So I hope this helps people. Once again, Watercraft, click on the Krash, all the stuff's right here, tech support, video library, and then all the additional products. And then if you just go into our regular Watercraft category, there's a few other things that will pop up here, but we also sell jackets, vests, boots, gloves, helmets, and I do recommend helmet if you're going to be out trying tricks. Works H2O boots, some of the best boots out there. And then if you want to jazz your machine up, you can get your colored grips later, different colored hoses and stuff for inside. Maybe you need some accessories. A lot of these, they're not going to come with a fire extinguisher. And a lot of states require it. So there's a fire extinguisher, there's lanyards here. A lot of states are requiring a lanyard with the whistle on it now. So it's an additional thing. And then if you're going to be running a PFI ski, there is one additional thing you can easily do that will help you out in the long run, is go under the electronic parts, and right at the top it's got a PFI electronics kit. This is going to give you the 3 main sensors, an extra relay, extra set of plugs, and the data cables. You can get all that in one big kit for $330. So take a look at that. Other than that, questions, whatever, just send us an email. And if you like our content, please hit like and subscribe. If you've been a great customer for a while, you know the type of service we provide and so on. Leave us a positive review on Google. We appreciate that stuff. And once again, we appreciate all your business. Thank you.